Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. A gray, slushy day in Manhattan. You know, the kind where the cold seems to seep right through the soles of your boots?
Hmm.
Inside a federal court, the air is stale and recycled. A clerk walks in, tired, and sets down this heavy stack of legal documents on a table. Thud.
Right.
They've just been unsealed. The sound of paper shuffling is usually the driest, most boring sound in the world. Just, bureaucracy in motion.
Well,
But
yeah.
buried in this specific stack, sandwiched between depositions and sworn affidavits, are screen grabs. Text messages,
Oh, yeah.
private digital whispers between two of the most famous, most powerful women on the planet. And as those texts hit the internet, you could practically hear the collective gasp. Just like that, the nice girl image didn't just crack, it shattered.
It really is the smoking gun that everyone on the fringes of the internet was speculating about, but nobody actually wanted to believe existed. I mean, we're talking about the moment the curtain was fully pulled back on Hollywood's most carefully curated friendship.
Welcome to StarScope Report. I'm your guide to the stories behind the fame, and today we are going to look at the story that has absolutely swallowed the internet whole. We're talking about the headline that is blinking on every screen right now: Taylor Swift's canceled, texts leaked.
And we aren't just reading gossip blogs here. We are analyzing the newly unsealed documents from the It Ends With Us lawsuit, the explosive legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Our mission today is to connect the dots between these private texts, the public scandals, and the hidden lyrics that told us the truth months ago.
Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame. Okay, let's unpack this, because the internet is currently melting down over one specific phrase.
A tiny violin.
A tiny violin.
That is the phrase that has turned the entire tide. To understand why this is landing with such a heavy impact, we have to look at the specific text message revealed in these court documents. It's dated early December 2024.
Right. So, for context, this is weeks before the lawsuit officially makes headlines, but tensions are clearly boiling over. Taylor Swift sends a text to Blake Lively,
Yeah.
and she's referring to Justin Baldoni, the director and co-star of It Ends With Us. Swift writes, and I quote, "I think this bitch knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin."
It sounds dismissive on the surface, right?
Yeah.
Just a mean girl comment. But when you layer in the context, it gets so much darker.
So much darker.
Swift sent this text, allegedly, in response to a People magazine article where Justin Baldoni opened up about being a survivor of sexual trauma.
Caused by an ex-girlfriend, yeah. He was sharing a deeply vulnerable story about his own victimization.
Exactly.
And that is where it gets really interesting and honestly pretty disturbing. You have Taylor Swift, who has built a massive part of her reputation on being a champion for victims, specifically victims of sexual assault.
She sought her own legal battles over it. Time magazine silence breaker.
Exactly. And here she is in private, looking at a man sharing his trauma and calling it a tiny violin. That's the hypocrisy that has just ignited the backlash. I mean, if you look at the reaction on social media, particularly on the subreddit Write-ins with Lawsuits, the mood has shifted from curiosity to just disgust. Users are calling the behavior vile. One comment that stood out to me simply said, "The mask is fully off." It's the gendered aspect of it, this idea that a man opening up about abuse is just a performance, a strategy to gain sympathy before a PR storm.
Exactly. And Lively's lawyers are trying to argue in these documents that the text wasn't about the New York Times article that was about to drop.
The one that accused Baldoni of creating a hostile work environment.
Right. They're trying to say it's unrelated. But the timeline just suggests a coordinated PR offensive. It looks like they were, wargaming the media narrative.
And that's a crucial point. These aren't just casual texts. They read like strategy sessions.
Oh,
It suggests that what the public saw as like a spontaneous unraveling of a film production was actually a carefully scripted takedown. They weren't reacting to a situation. They were managing a crisis before it even broke. It feels cold. It feels calculated. And if you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead because this rabbit hole goes way deeper than just one text.
Oh, way deeper.
Because if you think the tiny violin comment is bad, we have to go back further because this conspiracy didn't start when the movie came out. It started before they even rolled cameras.
This is where that legal concept of premeditation comes into play, right? We often hear that the set of It Ends With Us was toxic, but the narrative has always been that the toxicity happened during filming.
Creative differences, clashing personalities, the usual stuff.
But these unsealed texts show that Blake Lively and Taylor Swift were, gunning for Baldoni from day one.
This is the part that blew my mind. We have to flash back to April 2023, pre-production. The story we've been fed for so long is that tensions rose on set because of creative differences.
Right, the usual Hollywood clash. But the texts tell a very, very different story. The animosity was baked in. In texts from April 2023, Blake Lively refers to Baldoni as a clown and a doofus director.
A doofus director. Wow.
She also says he thinks he's a writer now. There is a total lack of professional respect before they've even really begun working together.
Thinks he's a writer now. That is so dismissive. He's the director. It's his project. It sounds like she never intended to let him lead the film.
Precisely. And it wasn't just name-calling. There was an active plot to undermine him. There's this one incident detailed in the documents that feels like a scene from a psychological thriller.
Oh, yeah.
Blake Lively invites Taylor Swift to her penthouse. Justin Baldoni is there, thinking he's having a meeting with his lead actress to go over the script.
Right. And Lively texts Swift beforehand, asking her to come over and endorse a script rewrite that Lively wants to push through. The kicker, she asks Swift to endorse it even without having read it.
Just think about the power dynamic there. You have the lead actress bringing in the biggest pop star in the world to gang up on the director about a script she hasn't even read.
It's insane.
And Swift's reply, "I'll do anything for you."
2 exclamation points. So Swift shows up. She plays the role. And afterwards, Lively texts Swift this, victory lap message. She writes, "You were so epically heroic today. You making us up about me and lenses and referring to yourself as my doll. This clown falling for all of it."
Okay, wait, let's pause on the making us up about me and lenses part. This is so important. In filmmaking, lenses are technical. They determine the look of the shot, the focal length, depth of field.
Right, that's the director's and the cinematographer's domain, so why bring it up?
Because if you start complaining about lenses, something subjective that is really hard to prove in the moment, you are intentionally trying to confuse and rattle the director. It's gaslighting.
So they were inventing technical complaints just to mess with him.
Yes, to make him doubt his own competence, and then they were laughing about it behind his back.
Calling him a clown for falling for it. I mean, it paints a picture not of a victim fighting a toxic director, but of 2 powerful women bullying a guy who they viewed as beneath them. It's mean girl behavior on a corporate scale.
It completely flips the power dynamic narrative. Lively even used this Game of Thrones metaphor in a text to Baldoni himself. She warned him that she has dragons who protect her.
Who are the dragons?
She specifically referred to Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift as her dragons.
That is a threat. That's a threat, plain and simple.
It was. She was leveraging her proximity to the biggest pop star in the world to intimidate her director. She was saying, "I have more power than you, and I have an army."
And speaking of that army, this brings us to the twist that was hiding in plain sight. We all know Taylor Swift puts her life into her music, and when her album The Life of a Showgirl dropped in October 2025, everyone was analyzing the lyrics. But we missed the biggest clue of all.
We really did.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because this musical connection is going to blow your mind.
It really changes how you listen to the whole album.
Okay, let's look at track 10, Canceled. When the song first came out, fans were confused. There was speculation that maybe it was a diss track against Blake Lively because rumors of a feud were swirling.
Right, everyone was trying to decode it. But now, with the text messages unsealed, the song reads completely differently. It reads as a confession.
Let's look at the lyrics. There is a line that goes, "Or bring a tiny violin to a knife fight."
It is a direct quote.
A direct quote.
She took the specific insult she used in a private text about Baldoni's trauma tiny violin and put it into a pop song. She broadcasted it to millions of people.
That is wild. She literally monetized the insult.
And because we didn't have the text back then, we just thought it was a clever turn of phrase. Now we know it was a specific dig at a specific man's trauma.
And it doesn't stop there. There's the lyric, "Tone deaf and hot, let's effing offer." That is a direct reference to the criticism Blake Lively faced during the It Ends With Us press tour.
Oh, absolutely. Remember when she was promoting her hair care line and wearing florals while totally ignoring the domestic violence themes of the movie?
The entire internet called her tone deaf. And here, Swift is using that exact label in the song.
And Swift sings, "Cloaked in Gucci and in scandal."
Lively is a Gucci ambassador. The song is practically an itemized list of the controversy.
But here is where the perspective shift happens. Initially, people thought, oh, Taylor is dragging Blake for being tone deaf. But now, look at the chorus. At least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars.
Matching stars. Wow, that changes everything.
Swift isn't attacking Lively. She's aligning with her. She's saying, we are the villains in their story, but we are in this together. It's a Thelma and Louise anthem.
So she sees herself and Lively as fellow victims of public scrutiny.
Yes, as if they're the ones being attacked by masked crusaders.
It's almost delusional, isn't it? Based on the text, they were the ones making this up and plotting. But the song frames them as the survivors of a witch hunt. There's that line. Did you girl boss too close to the sun?
It's incredibly revealing. It suggests that Swift knew exactly what Lively was doing, the power plays, the girl bossing, to take over the movie, and she supported it. She's essentially saying, you flew too high, you got caught, but I'm still here with my whiskey sour.
So what does this all mean for them now? Because the internet is not forgiving. The song Canceled was meant to be this cheeky reclamation of power, but now it serves as evidence of complicity.
The fallout is happening in real time. If you look at the social sentiment, the Mean Girls label has stuck. For a long time, Swift has managed to stay above the fray, right? Keeping her hands clean while her fan base goes to war. But these texts, specifically the mockery of sexual trauma, have alienated people who were previously neutral or even fans.
The Reddit threads are brutal. People are saying Taylor Swift is a legitimate piece, well, and the mask is fully off. It's a PR nightmare. But beyond the court of public opinion, there is an actual court case happening. And this is where the rubber meets the road.
Right. We have to remember the legal stakes here. Blake Lively sued Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and retaliation. Baldoni filed a countersuit for defamation and extortion, claiming Lively and Reynolds hijacked his movie.
And his countersuit was dismissed in 2025.
It was, but the main trial for Lively's claims is set for May 18, 2026.
So how do these texts impact that trial? Because Lively's team has to be panicking.
They damage her credibility significantly. Her narrative is that she was a victim of a hostile environment. But these texts paint a picture of a hostile takeover. If you are texting your billionaire pop star best friend to come over and trick your director into thinking you have script issues just to mess with him, that doesn't look like the behavior of a marginalized victim. It looks like the behavior of a bully.
It supports Baldoni's whole defense that this was a hijacking. It brings up that legal principle, falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus.
Exactly. False in one thing, false in everything. If the jury believes she lied about the lenses and the script issues, why should they believe her about the harassment?
And let's not forget Swift's original stance. When Baldoni's team tried to subpoena her, her team released this scathing statement. They said, and I'm paraphrasing, Taylor Swift never set foot on the set. She was not involved in any creative decisions.
And yet, we have texts proving she was at the penthouse, vetting script rewrites and making things up to manipulate the director. The statement was a lie.
It was a lie.
And in a legal setting, credibility is currency. Both Lively and Swift have just lost a lot of it.
It's a mess. The sweetheart of the music industry and the gossip girl of Hollywood, exposed by their own digital footprint.
It's a cautionary tale about digital permanence. You can delete a text from your phone, but you can't delete it from a server, and you certainly can't hide it from a federal judge. These two thought they were operating in a private bubble, but that bubble just popped in federal court.
So we have the nice girl image tarnished. We have a song that is transformed from a bop into a confession. And we have a trial coming up in May that is going to be an absolute circus.
And we have a public that is suddenly asking very difficult questions about the power dynamics of celebrity.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. If these texts reveal a coordinated, years-long effort to destroy a director's reputation before filming even started, using tiny violins and dragons, it makes you wonder, how many other Hollywood scandals that we consumed as truth were actually carefully scripted takedowns by the people with the most power?
It's a chilling thought. We like to think we're watching news, but sometimes we are just watching a script play out.
Be sure to subscribe to StarScope Report. We will be following every twist and turn of the It Ends With Us trial as we get closer to May 2026. You do not want to miss what comes next.
Definitely not. There's a lot more to uncover here.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.